Always neat. What are you excited about?
To eat.
Get to eat, okay? You tell me what you're excited about, please. You're going to Great Wolf Lodge. So, okay, all right, that's good. People are going to see family, they're going to travel, and they're going to get to eat. That's neat stuff. That's pretty cool, okay? Now, what I want you to know is, what I'd like for you to remember while you're having Thanksgiving this year is you have one friendly Indian to thank for having that festivity. And who was that?
Oh, I know. Squanto?
Squanto. Now let me tell you a little story. The first year I did this, I think I did it for my son when he was in the first grade. And I got on the internet and I studied and I said, oh, I'm going to teach these kids something. And as soon as I said what I just said, everybody in the room raised their arm and they said Squanto, and I said, well, I'm not going to be able to teach these folks a thing. They already know everything, okay? But let me tell you what I can teach you. This turkey, in my opinion, represents a meshing of two cultures. Because the Pilgrims came over here and they'd never seen a turkey. They were from Europe and they didn't have turkeys over there. But the Indians had them here all their lives, and they pretty much lived with them because they lived in dwellings like teepees. They had thin walls, and they could hear them, and they got to see them. And this was food to those Indians, and it became food to those Pilgrims because of that friendly Indian. Now, here's what the Indians figured out. They figured out that these turkeys talk to each other. You know why they talk to each other? Because their only defense mechanism is to run. Okay? And if more of them are together, they have amazing vision. They have binocular vision. I've had hen turkeys as close to me as from me to you at that desk right there. And I didn't move at all. I'm fully camouflaged. But you know what I did move? My eyes. I blinked. And she left like I shot at her. Okay, and I said, well, why didn't you move? And then I realized, well, I had to blink. It's just an impulse. Well, the turkeys figured out that if they could get close, the Indians figured out if they could get close to those turkeys, then they could harvest them, they could take them and have food and eat them, okay? And what they figured out was if they made some sounds, and they started out just making them with their mouth. Well, then they figured out that they could fashion a call like this. You know what this call's made out of? A turkey wing bone. They take the bones out of this wing and that turkey right there, and they cut them apart, and they put them together. They fit right into each other, and then they rosined them together, and they made this sound with them. And that's how they got close to it. Isn't that cool? Now, they also learned that turkeys kind of have a dialogue. Okay, let me give you some examples. If any of you guys, when you were little, I know you're too big now, but when you were little, do you remember being in a mall or a store and getting away from your folks and get a little bit anxious? What'd you do? What'd you do? Tell me what you did.
Cried.
Cried? And you probably said, tell me what you did.
I asked for someone to help me find my parents.
Okay, what'd you do?
I started to go shopping.
Oh, you started to go shopping. Oh, you're the bold one, okay? Well, that's enough. Let me tell you how what turkeys do. A lot of times little kids will say, Mommy, Mommy, Daddy, Daddy. They want to know where their parents are. Well, young turkeys do that like this. Now, here's the sound they're really trying to make, but their vocal cords haven't developed to the point where they can. They're trying to make this sound. And now, you know why they're trying to make that sound? Because that's the sound they hear their mother make when their mother's trying to get them to come to them. It's called an assembly call. It goes like this again.
I want this kind of stuff.
Now, when my boys are outside playing, and me or their mama calls for them. Let's say my oldest son Evan was out playing when he was little, and we'd call, Evan! He didn't answer. Evan! He didn't answer. Evan Gibson Parent! Okay, he knew that we were serious then. When we mentioned all three names, it's time for him to stop what he's doing and come running. Do y'all understand that? Do your parents do that ever? Okay, I figured you would. Now, mother turkeys start out like this. If they don't get an answer, it becomes this. And then the little turkeys will come running. Okay? Now, when you guys get about 13, my son's just about there, okay? My oldest. Your voice is going to start changing. You're going to be talking. You're going to go like this. And it's kind of odd that you would squeak because you're going to end up with a manly, deep voice is what it amounts to. But before you get to that process, you go like that as you're talking. You don't even know when you're going to do it. When young turkeys are doing that, when their vocal cords are, when they're maturing and their vocal cords are doing it, they're still trying to make that pee-pee sound, but it breaks over into that yelp. They're trying to make that yelp. And they sound like this.
How do you do that?
With this call.
Where did you get it? That's cool.
Now, about the time that your voice starts changing, guys, you're going to start liking girls.
Yeah.
Guess what, girls? Guess what, girls? You're going to like them back. And see, that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. That's what's going on here. This is not a normal posture for this turkey. He's showing off. He's fluffing up his feathers, and putting his wings down, and putting his tail up, and he's got his. This thing here will hang down here sometimes. Okay, he's showing how pretty he is. Okay. Now, and when in the springtime, he wants to let all the girls, all the hens know where he's at, and he does that like this. They sleep in trees. Let me back up. They sleep in trees with their head under their wing. What? Yeah, with their head under their wing. Okay. And when those lights come on, what'll happen is they'll wake up because of the sounds that happen in the morning. They'll hear owls go, oh. When they hear that sound, they know it's time to wake up. And a lot of times when they hear that sound, they'll make this sound. Now, when you guys start liking girls, you're going to use text and the internet and cell phones. These guys do it just like this. That's all they do. It's called a gobble, and I'm not real good at it. Anyway.
Yes, you are.
No, thank you. Let me just say, when you guys, all our parents know when you guys are happy, because you make special sounds. You laugh, you giggle. Okay? When turkeys in the woods are content, they make this sound.
Sounds like a hiccup.
So they'll just go around. They're always scratching in the woods looking for something to eat, and they're making that sound.
It sounds like a bird. It sounds like
Yeah.
I keep on hearing.
You may be hearing turkeys. That's right.
I've seen like 5 wild. You have a bunch.
Okay. Now, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 things. Let me just show you. Let me come forward a little bit. I've been playing this call for you. Okay. Remember the turkey, the Indians made the sound with their mouth, and they also made it with this. I'm not going to do it again. Anyway, you got it. Well, let me get a different call. These are modern calls. These are calls that are made today so that we can get turkeys to get close to us. Okay? This is a box call. Everybody in this room can make good turkey sounds with this call. Because all you got to do is you drag it once and it makes a sound. You leave it on that, you don't lift it up, it doesn't make a sound on the other one. And all you got to do to make that yelp sound, just speed it up. I got some calls on here that you got to play with for me. This is a real simple call. Now, when turkeys fight, sometimes they have to fight, okay? And when they fight, they got these spurs here, and they jump up and try to flog each other, and while they're doing that, they make this sound. Okay? I'm going to pass those around and let you guys play with them in a minute.
Where do you get this stuff?
Dick's or Walmart or sports goods stores.
Walmart.
This is a slate call. All you got to do to make this thing sound like a turkey, same thing. It makes a sound going that way. It doesn't make a sound going the other way. Everybody starting out wants to do this. You can't control that. You got to do this. You just make a circle about the size of a dime. Okay?
Okay, now that really does. What's that little thing hanging from the bottom?
That's pretty much all I've got. I'm going to pass these around and let y'all play with them.
Yay! Oh, Jamie! Over here, vibrate! Here. I want that one.
Everybody get a chance. Where's the feathers at, Tim?
Right here.
Concentrate.
Let me have your attention for a minute. Everybody quiet. What do you do to get them quiet, Mom? Thank you. Okay. Stop the calls for just a minute. Everybody that wants one of these can have one until they run out. I think I got enough, okay? They're not swords. You got to promise me you're not going to be doing this with each other. But I've given these to children over the years, and I've had more than one of them say I still got mine a long time after that. So here, here's what I'll do. I'll pass the bag.